season of NBA coverage on Turner Sports. Labor unrest, the players settled it, but the referees are still out. They're picketing outside the station. We'll have substitute referees here tonight. The big blockbuster trade in Chicago in the offseason. Dennis Rodman in full regalia enters the United Center. He joins the Chicago Bulls team. And the United Center welcomes back Michael Jordan, who says he's in the best shape of his career, and he will no longer blame the United Center for his errant jump shots. Hello, everybody. Along with Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal from a sold-out United Center, the 388th consecutive sellout here in Chicago. These two teams met in the first round of the playoffs last year. The Bulls eliminated the Hornets. And as you see, Pete Myers also went to Miami. Hubie Brown, your opinion of this trade for the Charlotte Hornets?
Well, first-round draft pick. Well, if Miami makes the playoffs, which they very possibly could, naturally would negate it being a bonanza trade. Now, erroneously reported, Philadelphia and Chicago supposedly made big offers, according to press and trap, and we'll see a lot of that tonight.
And for the Chicago Bulls, center Luke Longley has been suspended for one game, won't play tonight. That's because of a fight he had in the preseason with Washington Bullets forward Chris Webber. Now, what does the absence of Luke Longley for Chicago mean to Charlotte?
Well, right now, they're going big. Charlotte will start Parrish at center, Zedek, the 7-foot rookie, at big forward, Larry Johnson at small forward. They're going to a big unit. They only have a few available substitutions, and what they're trying is that Adams at the point, Parrish at the center, will have bonanza night. Well, time will tell.
Zoe is gone. Rodman is here. The regular refs are picketing. The substitutes are inside. And we're in our 12th year of NBA coverage on Turner Sports right after this.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Jeep, makers of the new Grand Cherokee. With over 40 major advancements, we're proving to the world once again why there's only one Jeep. By the more than 1,170 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
Opening night in the NBA at the United Center in Chicago. The tip moments away as the Bulls host the Charlotte Hornets, minus Alonzo Mourning, traded this day to the Miami Heat. Welcome back to our Atlanta studios. Ernie Johnson, along with the Bullets' Chris Webber. He's out of the Bullets lineup with a bad shoulder, but that has earned him a spot in our lineup tonight. We are happy to say. We'll get to Chris in just a second, but first, a quick look around the league on opening night. Some of the images you're finding on a 13-game night. The opening of the Fleet Center, the first Celtic game there as they take on the Bucks. There's Shaq. He cannot play, but he's there as Orlando plays Cleveland in its opener. There's Doug Collins. Chuck Daly said he'd lost 15 pounds. Looking pretty svelte. I don't know if Nelly's lost 15, but he's the new coach of the Knicks. The Knicks are playing the Pistons tonight at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Let's talk quickly before we go to our game, Chris, about the replacement referee situation. We saw them picketing outside the United Center. How will this impact the games?
Well, like Reggie said, first of all, we as players just have to be quiet and play. But then again, as players know, from college to NBA, there's a big difference. There's a big jump. Touch fouls, charges up under the basket, legal defenses. Even when I played a couple of games in the preseason, I noticed a little bit of that. So I think it will definitely affect, and two can never do the job of three, even if it was two regular NBA officials.
These are CBA and college guys. Chris Webber is going to be back with us at halftime. You will also hear from Dennis Rodman. The Worm gives Chuck Daly the lowdown on his move to Chicago. And the NBA's definitely in the computer age. Details on that. But straight ahead, Hornets and Bulls.
Jordan, Hubie Brown, our starting matchups tonight.
Well, you can see Charlotte will go big with Johnson, Zedek, and Parrish. Gill will match up with Jordan, and then Adams, giving away 6 to 7 inches, will be on Harper.
Now, speaking of Dennis Rodman, we'll talk about that in a moment. Already a little bit of a curveball on Dennis Rodman, and you look onto the Charlotte Hornets bench. There is Alan Bristows, had to deal with the trade of Alonzo Mourning today. Last year they had 50 wins. He says he's just going to focus on the game. Phil Jackson, sporting a brand new beard, says he looks at himself in the mirror every morning and says, is today the day I shave it off? And Craig Sager, who's with us courtside, we understand there's already a quirk, a curveball with Dennis Rodman. What is it?
Bob, 2 days ago, Dennis Rodman had minor surgery on the big toe of his right foot. An ingrown toenail was removed, pulled out with a pair of pliers. It is very sore. Doctors offered to numb the toe. But Rodman, despite all that body piercing, despises needles. He had the shoe altered a little bit, but if somebody steps on it, it could be a factor.
That's the biggest news of the year. Dennis Rodman, Mr. Tattoo Man, despises needles. So Dennis Rodman tonight joins the Chicago Bulls. He is wearing number 91. He wanted to get 0 and couldn't get it and said he took 91 because that's as far away from the number that they wouldn't let him have as he could get. And that's, you got to understand Dennis to understand that. Chicago and Charlotte are 24-6, 1-13. The Hornets have never won in this building. That one win came in the old stadium, and the Bulls eliminated the Hornets last year, 3 games, 2-1. They were 2-2 in the regular season last year. Here are the substitute officials, Keith McClellan and William Kennedy, only a 2-man crew where normally there are 3, and Hubie, that'll be significant in each game.
Well, it's very difficult to cover the opposite 1/3 of the floor away from the ball, and it's very difficult to see the three-point shooting on any diagonal pass or a skip pass to the other side of the floor.
Robert Parrish starting. Alonzo Mourning has been traded to Miami. Bill Wennington starting at center for Chicago. Purdue went to San Antonio, and Luke Longley is suspended for fighting for 1 game. Is a bad toss. We have jumping into the center circle too soon, Charlotte. Chicago will have the ball. And one of the things I've noticed in the preseason, along with the other grief that these substitute officials have, is they're not tossing it very well at the center court. Rodman to Michael Jordan, defended early by Kendall Gill to Ron Harper, who misses from the outside. There is Zedek with the rebound. He is the first player in NBA history from Czechoslovakia to play in this league. UCLA, 20th pick in the first round by Charlotte, 7 feet tall. Going inside on the Bulls right away. Here's the Chief, Robert Parrish, on the scoring.
Why not? Main thing with this group, it's a very big group for Charlotte. 2 7-footers out there. They must get back in transition for the full 48 minutes here this season.
Jordan from way downtown. Long rebound, knocked out of Wennington's hands by Gill, but lost out of bounds. It will belong to Chicago.
In this early open floor offense, you can see that Chicago, there's a lot of passing, a lot of cutting. The main thing right now is to keep them shooting jumpers.
Bill Wennington has a good 15-foot face-up jumper. Luke Longley will be the man starting at center normally for Chicago, but he's suspended for 1 game for that fight with Chris Webber, who, thanks to that, is in our studios tonight. Chris rehabilitating his separated shoulder, dislocated shoulder. It'll be Chicago ball, 2-0. Charlotte leading early here. First game of our 1995-96 season on Turner Sports. Tied at 2. Jordan. Turnaround jumper over Gill.
Now in the early going, Michael Jordan, once they start the passing from outside at half court, he runs right into a post-up area. When they hit him, they are in the triangle offense. Now this end of the floor, what you're hoping for, Charlotte needs a perfect game. They need high scoring from Larry Johnson, Kendall Gill, a little bit from Adams and Parrish. And a tough ball. They call an offensive foul.
On Charlotte, and it's on Larry Johnson. Larry
Tonight,
Johnson has lost weight and is in better shape than he was last year. Alan Bristow said he hopes he'll be able to step up after the trade of Alonzo Mourning.
well, Larry Johnson and Kendall Gill must give you big minutes tonight as well as points.
Jordan misses. Adams gets it out front quickly to Gill. Pull-up jumper, air ball. Rodman with the first of what the Bulls hope will be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rebounds. Wennington from 12. Larry Johnson with the board. Bulls 4-2.
The early going, if I'm Alan Bristow, I like this pace. Slow it down, walk it up, keep them shooting jump shots. They're not going to beat you from out there all night. They've got to get down inside. Now this has got to happen. Pippen is matched up to Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson backs it in and gets an easy lay-in. And it's tied at 4. Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan posting up Ron Harper from inside. That's where Harper scores best.
Well, he has a 7-inch height advantage over Michael Adams, so they must go to that, see it, get away from the jump shooting, and take advantage of the power game.
Adams playing with a sore hamstring, and he's been out much of the preseason. Backhand a big 7-foot George Zedek. The hook shot misses. Scottie Pippen has it 1-on-2. He's joined by Jordan and Harper. Harper loses control. Gill got his hand on it. Adams quickly down here to Larry Johnson against Huntington. Power move inside for Johnson. Air ball. Rebound. Chicago. Jordan on the run.
That's the third air ball we have seen at that end of the floor.
Jordan drains the three. 5 points for Michael Early.
Whenever you play Chicago, you know that when Pippen and Jordan dribble down the floor, that you must play them for the three-point shot. Now, Michael launched 24 of them in the exhibitions with 11 for 24, so you know it's there.
Larry Johnson's getting inside, but he gave it up to Robert Parrish for his second basket. That's 2 times now Larry Johnson has gotten inside for relatively open shots against Scottie Pippen. Pippen trying to do likewise. Michael Jordan says he's now out of baseball shape and into basketball condition.
Well, you can see now during the exhibitions, Michael played in 8 games. He only averaged 26 minutes a game, but he shot 46% in threes. So anytime that you see that statistic at this time in the year, you've got to get out and honor him on that shot.
Charlotte with the ball, offensive foul on Bill Winnington. Here's Zedek backing in on Rodman, and he's fouled.
Now, Rodman just hit Zedek right in the back, and it's a very good call. Very good call. See, right now, Jackson is out there now, Phil. Now, just watch what happens. See, Zedek has hooks with either hand. Now, that's a foul right there to begin with. Now, forget about the shot. Watch what happens right now. If we just rolled it a little further, we would have seen the hit right in the middle of the back.
I think without that evidence, there can be no conviction. Rodman gets the technical. Larry Johnson goes to the free throw line. Larry Johnson only a 77% shooter. He misses it.
I see, he definitely hits him. He fouled him about 5 times, and then, boom, he hit him right in the back with the elbow. Now, that is totally unnecessary. Zedek, at 7 foot, you know, really is an imposing person. He has the big shoulders, and he carries 270 pounds really well. Now, you know he's a little bit nervous here this evening. Last year he played it for UCLA. He's stepping in as a rookie, but he surprised everyone in the exhibition. He averaged 11 points, 6 rebounds a game, did a very nice job.
So Zedek knocks in one of his 2 free throws, and we have a 9-7 Bulls lead. Rodman already with a technical. Remember, if he gets another, he'll be out of this game that early. He's brought his traveling road show to Chicago. Jordan gets the tipped ball. That was a partial block. Jordan caught it and puts it in, and Michael has 7 already. Larry Johnson trying to initiate the Charlotte offense, and they are without Bugsy Bogues, who is hurt. They're without Mourning, who was traded. The steal from Ron Harper. He'll be uncontested for the basket.
Well, we're going to see a ton of that this year. You have Michael Jordan, who led the league 3 times in steals. You had Scottie Pippen, who led the league last year. Harper, one of the best guards in steals throughout his entire career. And they're out on the floor with Rodman, who can play his man one-on-one.
Parrish against Winnington. Should be a mismatch there. Parrish misses the jumper. Gets his own offensive board.
Now, Chief doing a nice job here.
Almost stolen by Pippen. Michael Adams drains the 3.
That's what they need this evening. Chicago is going to have to double team on Johnson as well as the Chief. That's going to open up the outside. Michael Adams must hit the 3-point shot.
Scottie Pippen being defensed by Larry Johnson. Now the switch. Parrish out on it. Michael Jordan from way downtown. Shot clock down to 6, and Jordan misses one from about 25 feet. It'll belong to Charlotte with the score. Bulls 13, Hornets 10. We have a timeout on the floor, and Dennis is back in Chicago. Charlotte loses Alonzo Mourning in the trade to Miami, but they get center Matt Geiger, guard Khalid Reeves, and guard forward Glen Rice. We asked Alan Bristow how they'd fit in.
I like all 3 players. I think they all bring us something. They're players that play different positions. We're right now, as far as the early part of this year, they're all penciled in as starters. you know, a lot depends on what kind of identity this team takes on in the next 2 or 3 weeks as far as how much where the playing time and where the rotation is, not only with those guys, but also with the players that we do have.
Robert Parrish now with 6 points, and it is a 1-point Bulls lead. Inside to Harper, posted up on the shorter Michael Johnson. The foul and the basket for Ron Harper. Michael Adams has a lot of problems with Ron Harper.
Well, I mean, it's just too much of a size disadvantage. They can run Harper in there all night long, break the defense down, force them to double team. Harper can just shoot over him at will and get a 6 to 8 foot shot. But at the other end of the floor, I like what we're seeing. Robert Parrish scoring. Every time that he's getting the ball, he's looking for his shot, and he is just scoring without any effort. It's kind of interesting because the double team is late from Chicago, and they're letting Robert do as he please.
If they do, despite his 42 years, he'll put down a lot of points on you. The Chief, who came from Boston to Charlotte, has been a major factor here. Last year, we televised the opening game of the season on TNT with Chicago and Charlotte. And Alonzo Mourning had missed that game, too, because of injury. And Parrish stepped up big in that one, despite a Bulls win.
Now, that time when they went into Larry Johnson, Michael Jordan came on the baseline side to double team, forcing Johnson to go right into the middle of the pack. Every time that you're short of people, there's such a pressure on your main guys to give you big minutes and then to try to play a perfect game. By that we mean do not turn the ball over and give them the opportunity to get out on the fast break.
Pippen, Rodman, Wennington, all with 1 foul each for Chicago. 10 on the shot clock. Nice move inside from Larry Johnson, showing better elevation than we saw last year.
Well, the main thing is that he's blown right around Pippen on 3 reverse moves with ease.
Speaking of ease, Michael Jordan, the drive on the baseline, and Michael has 9. 4-point Bulls lead. Kendall Gill handling the ball. Remember, he was with Charlotte, traded to the Sonics for 2 years. Now he came back here in the Hersey Hawkins deal. Kendall Gill from 3. Rebound Wennington. The Chicago backcourt with 16 of the Bulls' 18 points. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rodman back to Jordan, down to 5. It's the pick from Rodman. Offensive foul on Dennis Rodman.
Chicago, Dennis Rodman.
Now keep an eye on Larry Johnson here. He's already burned Pippen twice. Now just watch this quick spin move. He gets right inside of him. Wennington was late on the double team. Now as Jordan goes, he just blows right by Gill because Zedek was late getting there. Right now, like we told you, Charlotte is big but slow. So their movements to help out, you know, and plus we have Zedek and Parrish, who's not accustomed to a lot of minutes out there. People are not familiar with one another.
Kendall Gill not familiar with Jordan Zedek very much either. Makes a bad pass there. And Chicago has Dickie Simpkins on the floor as Rodman has 2 early fouls and sits down. Simpkins is entering his 2nd NBA season, played in all 8 preseason games, had 10 points versus the Clippers the other night. You saw that. Jordan looking for Harper. Got Adams down low again. Little jump hook doesn't go. Harris rebound. Yeah, this is definitely a slimmer, trimmer, quicker Larry Johnson. Draws the foul from Scottie Pippen.
The Bulls personal foul, Scottie Pippen.
That'll be his 2nd.
The team's 3rd.
Now all this is a head fake. Watch the head fake. Pippen goes up, and you can see he definitely gets tangled up with the left arm. Watch that. See right there. Yeah, that's a foul. You know, unfortunately for him, you know, he's looking at it because he's going to come out of the game right now. Jeff Buechler is coming in. This is what Larry Johnson has got to do. He can take Pippen down inside, and he's definitely going to be able to take Buechler, who's coming in right now, and take him strong to the hole. They have no one out there other than Dennis Rodman who can play him on that low box power game.
Well, Alan Bristow said today, despite the distractions of the morning trade, he was going to take it inside against the Bulls. He's done that early, and all 3 of the front court players for Chicago have early fouls. Pippen 2, Rodman 2, Wennington 2. And now Kukoc comes into the game for Bill Wennington. So it's Simpkins, Kukoc, Judd Buechler, Ron Harper and Michael Jordan on the floor for the Bulls.
Now, right now, you can post up Larry Johnson and Parrish at ease. You know, I'm surprised. Larry Johnson has missed 2 foul shots early this season. He's a 78% foul shooter a year ago, usually consistent on the foul line.
3:45 to go in the first quarter, 18-15, Chicago Bulls. Here's Kukoc, first action of the 95-96 season. Takes it hard to the hoop, misses the lay-in, rebound, and the Hornets have the numbers. Michael Jordan, it looked like foul Johnson. They say he got the ball and knocked it out of bounds. And a good play by Michael as Charlotte will have it sidelines out of bounds.
If Charlotte could ever take hold of this game and stop turning the ball over, they really have some good chances. Chicago is trying to get away with fronting the post-up beat. Just take your time in delivering the ball. And when you have a fast break, take your time and only make a solid pass. Look at this.
Johnson gets inside again and gets the lay-in and the foul on Dickie Simpkins. 7 points for Larry Johnson early. This is what Charlotte thought he would be when he was the #1 draft choice in all the NBA.
Well, right now, they just have a major mismatch, and you've got to take advantage of that. This is pro basketball. You don't worry about the shot, but I cannot believe he's missed 3 foul shots for me. Right?
1 for 4, Larry Johnson. Tony Kukoc at 6'11" with that rebound. Harper. Now here's Michael. And that foul is going to be on Kendall Gill. Kendall played at Illinois, of course, as a Chicago youngster. Went to Seattle, and it's been well documented that he had problems at Charlotte before he left. He was then diagnosed, as Del Curry comes into the ballgame for Michael Adams. Kendall Gill was then diagnosed with clinical depression, has since been treated for it, and says he's glad to be back in Charlotte. Jordan. Working on it, drawing the foul.
Well, Michael's going to get that call, even if there's just a minor bump. You can see that Gill, at 6'5", matches up fairly good with Jordan, but Michael is in outstanding shape. Last year he said he came in at 215. He could not lose the extra 5 pounds, but this year he's down under 210, and you can see he came out of the 8 exhibition games, 26 minutes, really rolling. He is in great shape.
And he's got a nice design on his new shoes this year too. We're talking about Mike. A lot of people criticize Michael for being down when he came back last year, but look at this.
Well, 32 points, he scored 31, 52%. He shot 48. Look at the foul shooting. How about the rebounding and the assist? Now, for any mere mortal, the column on the right, anybody would be anointing the guy as the best player in the game. Unfortunately for Michael, there were just a few little distractions.
Over the summer, he got a new friend he'd like to introduce to everyone.
Moments ago, we look at Scottie Pippen stretching on the floor. He's had a groin problem in the preseason.
Now, you can see it right there. He had an excellent preseason. And, you know, he's coming off making the first-team All-NBA team again. He's made it 94 and 95. Plus, he also was selected for the first-team All-Defensive team. And then the highest honor for him, he has been named to the 96 Olympic team. He played in 92 and now in 96. We're looking at, you know, outside of the center position, he and Michael Jordan, the greatest all-around players that we have in this game.
Did you say Elijah Wan, Jordan, and Pippen, maybe the 3 best? Could you say that?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I get you out of there.
Well, they were the people that were on the first-team All-NBA team last year.
Good answer.
All we're doing is joining a host of thousands who think that.
Greg Sutton in at the point, Del Curry in at forward. Here's Sutton. He's been shooting well in the preseason. Not this time. Parrish keeps it alive. Joe Wolf also is getting some early playing time in here. Joe's really the 12th man, or tonight, the 9th man. That's all that Charlotte has after the trade today. Joe Wolf has the jump shot, but instead he passes to Robert Parrish. He doesn't get it. Simpkins is fouled by Larry Johnson.
I like what Alan Bristow's doing right now. On the floor, you have 2 great post-up players in Larry Johnson and Parrish, and now you have your 2 best three-point shooters in Sutton and Curry surrounding them. And then even Joe Wolf is a good shooter out to about 18 feet facing the basket. But with this group out on the floor, this matchup is a tough one.
Del Curry punches it out of bounds, 12 on the shot clock.
And Darren Hancock comes into the ball game. We got a timeout on the floor. Darren Hancock in his second year. He also has been very impressive for the Hornets in the preseason. And remember, they've got Geiger, Glen Rice, and Khalid Reeves yet to join the Charlotte Hornet team. Muggsy Bogues is on the injured list, as is one of their other better players, Scott Burrell. Yes, they lose Mourning, but they're going to have a lot of talent with this club.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, but we all know that you've got to get it done at the center position, and you must be able to rebound. Now, as far as Hancock averaged 13 points in the exhibition. Everybody is excited. He came back the most improved player from any player over a year ago. Now, this young guy can really fly. He can jump. He left Kansas early, went over and played in France, came back, made this ball club last year. Raw talent.
Darren Hancock, 8 on the shot clock for the Bulls. Leading 19-17. Steve Kerr, pull-up jumper. Count it. One of the best shooters in the NBA. He was the best three-point shooter last year.
Well, I mean, Sutton just can't look at Steve Kerr. I mean, you've got to get at Steve Kerr and force him to dribble the ball.
2 minutes to play in the first quarter.
And the foul on Michael Jordan, bumping into Greg Sutton. And speaking of Kerr,
see, watch Kerr on his guard around. See, Sutton spaces and then does not get out on the man. Well, any time that you're playing a great shooter like Kerr, who very seldom will take it to the rim, once you space like that, you've got to close the gap and get in his face.
All-time leader in three-point field goal percentage, Steve Kerr from Arizona. And the Hornets, with their turnovers and their missed free throws tonight, except for that, would be leading in this game, Hubie.
They have now missed 5 foul shots, which is a sin. And then they have 4 turnovers, and they're hanging right in this ball game. Now, this young man, Sutton, had a great preseason. Averaged 12 points, shot 52% from the floor, 38 in threes, and 77 on the line. Now, they're going to give him minutes here right now. But the old story, when you're on the bubble, you always have to deliver.
Michael Jordan with the penetration, the reversal with the left hand, and he brings the crowd to their feet. That's 12 for Michael.
Right now, they have absolutely no one out on the floor who can cover, so the double team must come a little bit quicker than this. Michael just splits everyone. The inside people have got to get there and make Michael give up the ball.
And Jordan turns it into a three-point play, has 13 early. It is 24-18. Bulls by 6 with 1:45, and here's full court pressure.
Now, that was a technical foul. You're not allowed to reach across the baseline and touch the ball when the guy has it out of bounds.
Curry off the baseline curl, rebound, 7-footer George Zedek from UCLA. Here's Sutton on the penetration. Nice play and the foul for Greg Sutton. Sutton was in a real battle for the backup point guard spot with Corey Beck in the preseason out of Arkansas, you may recall. And the Hornets cut Beck and kept Greg Sutton.
Well, see, Greg Sutton has athletic ability, plus he can really dribble the ball. There's a lot of quickness involved here. He can take it to the hole. So if you make a mistake and get up too tight, he has the ability to blow right by it.
Bulls by 3.
Now, we're seeing the Bulls after foul shots. They are now pressing in a 1-2-1-1 zone press.
Oh, Michael's feeling it. He had 2 defenders on him. Wolf and Hancock faked them both out of their shoes. Michael 6 of 9 from the floor and has 15 with 1:09 to go in period number 1. Sutton open for that jumper. That's a 3 for Greg Sutton. And it's 26-24. Charlotte hanging right in here. And you know this is a stunned team. At noon today, they learned that their center, Alonzo Mourning, had been traded to Miami.
Sutton played in 6 exhibitions, and he averaged 4 3-point attempts a game.
Jordan missing. Wolf rebounding.
Big thing for this group right now. Slow it down. Alan Bristow's calling out the plays. Take advantage of the mismatch. Force the double teams in a kick out. You have good three-point shooting out there in Sutton and in Curry.
Zedek tried to back in. Simpkins called for that arm on his back. Simpkins picked up his 2nd personal foul.
Well, the reason why everyone is stunned, you're allowed to use your forearm. You are not allowed to use your hand. And that time, Simpkins used his forearm.
Coming into the ball game for the Chicago Bulls now is a player that Hubie Brown is very impressed with out of Alabama at 6'8", 256 pounds, a rookie by the name of Jason Caffey, the Bulls' #1 pick.
He had an outstanding exhibition season. He was their 4th leading scorer. He struggled with his shot. He only shot 40%. He got to the foul line 6 times a game. Plus, he was their 2nd leading rebounder during the exhibition. People are going to like him. Now,
Looks back to miss.
You know,
Zidek missed the free throw.
Yeah, it's nice to watch a shooter. He just banked that shot in with the effortless high bank, grab the board. Curry is one of the outstanding shooters that we have in the NBA.
And Charlotte has taken the lead 27-26 with 13, now 12 and counting seconds remaining in the first period. Charlotte's going to stop this period with the lead unless they turn it over. Randy Brown, who just checked in, and it was lost out of bounds on the sideline. And Hubie, we talk about the difficulties of 2 substitute refs versus 3 with the regular season. It's tough to see everything. There's a good example.
Well, these 2 poor young fellas, they're doing an excellent job. They're trying to cover everything, and see, the lead guy missed that, okay? He definitely missed it. All right, he was out of position. The guy who was up the floor, the ref on the left side right now, made that call from the other end of the floor. Now, Alan Bristow's being smart. He's calling a timeout, 20-second timeout. He has 2.3 seconds to go because he wants to get off a decent shot. Now, when you look at this right now, they are 1 point up, doing a good job. Now, keep an eye on the ball right now. This tap, the ball definitely goes off the leg, but now right there, we can't see that angle. But the referee at the top of the screen to the left made the call because the player had his foot on the line as that ball was hit. Now, that's good refereeing, 2 guys working together.
Keith McClellan, William Kennedy are the substitute officials. Mike Mathis leading a group of regular NBA officials who are picketing the United Center outside as the NBA referees remain on strike and they are being locked out by the NBA, depending on which side you ask about the strike or the lockout. George Zidek wants to inbound the ball. He'll be defensed by Jason Caffey. As you see, Alan Bristow, who, by the way, has added some gray hair in the offseason.
Well, what he's doing is oh, nice. Well, that's okay. That was a good play. Unfortunately, Sutton could not make the catch.
His airness is back. 15 points, 6 out of 10 from the floor. But the Bulls trail by 1 after 1 period. 27-26 from the United Center. The beautiful lakeside skyline of Chicago. You see that penthouse hotel room? That's the suite on each corner that Hubie and I have when we come here. They really treat us well in Chicago. Charlotte up by 1 at the end of 1 quarter. The Bulls are going to present full court pressure on this inbound play to begin quarter number 2.
Well, you can see they get the trap, then they come off, play man-to-man. I'll give Charlotte some credit. They've missed 6 foul shots and have 5 turnovers, but they're doing a great job on the boards. They've out-rebounded the Bulls by 5.
Oh, yes. Darren Hancock went past Scottie Pippen like he was nailed to the floor for the jam in his face. Hornets by 3.
Take advantage of your strength. You have to give Alan Bristow is doing a very nice job now, doing what they do best, going to the people in the right spot.
Randy Brown missing. Charlotte on an 8-0 run. They have taken a 3-point lead here with possession of the ball. Sutton and Curry, along with Wolf, Zidek, and Darren Hancock on the floor for the Charlotte Hornets, who today traded Alonzo Mourning to Miami for Glen Rice. Hancock. It's a 5-point lead for the Hornets.
How about the infusion by Sutton and Hancock off the bench, forcing Phil Jackson to call a timeout, no doubt about it. Athletes, now just watch this guy. This guy is blessed.
The Bulls have not scored in the first minute of this quarter. We talk about Charlotte at
when you talk about him, you are presenting to the NBA massive roster changes on this young franchise.
This is a team that won 50 games last year. Morning to the Heat, along with Myers and Ellis. Hersey Hawkins and David Wingate to the Sonics for Gill. Kenny Gaddison was taken by Vancouver in the expansion. Tony Bennett was with the Cavs, and he was waived. Now, Kendall Gill, Raphael Addison is not here tonight because of a death in his family. Glen Rice, Geiger, and Reeves will be joining the team.
How quickly will they get into the lineup?
Right now we have a guard-around situation there. Anytime that you take the power triangle away, you force the Bulls to do guard-around. Now, right now, the Bulls have only attempted 3 foul shots, showing us no inside game, no game off the dribble to the hole.
Scottie Pippen is off the floor. He's been beaten off the dribble several times tonight, and we've just noticed that Scottie Pippen has left the floor and gone into the locker room just moments ago as the Bulls turn it over. Here goes Pippen inside. Remember, Dennis Rodman also had an ingrown toenail removed surgically a couple of days ago, and he's not playing without pain either. We'll find out. Craig Sager's with us courtside, and we'll find out in a moment what the story is on Scottie Pippen. Inside to Joe Wolf. Stolen by Bushler. Fouled by Hancock.
I like that. That was a good attempt by Hancock. So what if you fouled? They had a 3-on-2 and would have scored a layup in that situation. You know, at the top of the show, we talked about this great defensive team. That's all you have been reading in the Chicago papers. We have the potential to be one of the greatest defensive teams of all time. And we are seeing in the early going here, Charlotte just taking them to the cleaners by just doing basic basketball.
Kukoc on the drive is fouled by Joe Wolf. This is the first of our Turner Sports coverage of the NBA, and on Tuesday we'll have our first game with the Suns and the Knicks. I will join Danny Ainge and Cheryl Miller in New York for that telecast. The question's there. Do Patrick and Charles have one more shot at a title? We start to find out Tuesday night on TNT at 8 Eastern time. Here's Randy Brown, air ball. He is not a good jump shooter, but he does bring some other things to the team.
No, he's a tenacious defender, great in the open floor, pushes the ball. But if you're going to get minutes, you must be able to hit that 18-foot jump shot when you play for the Bulls.
The Bulls have not scored in this quarter, by the way. They're trailing 31-26, and they've missed their last 5 shots. Scottie Pippen in the locker room with some form of injury or illness, and we noticed early that it was not the usual Scottie Pippen as he was beaten off the dribble, first by Larry Johnson, then by Darren Hancock.
The people here in attendance are really upset. They came in here this evening thinking that they were going to see a blowout, which they're not getting. Also, all the ticky-tack fouls, except the referees, the 2 guys are calling everything by the rule book.
That's 3 seconds in the lane.
That's right. They are not doing anything other than what they have been told to call.
By the way, I'd asked you earlier, what about the new players? How quick for Charlotte? How quickly will they join this team and start playing?
Well, I mean, they're going to play. The trouble is with what kind of efficiency. And you need timing, not only offensively, but also at the defensive end of the floor. And that takes months. And unfortunately, they just do not call a timeout for 2 weeks and give you time to go into a training camp mode. You've got to do all of this on the fly. Nice pass.
Inside, and then Hancock hands it to Zedek, who is fouled, and Charlotte having their way. The Bulls have not scored in the last 4 minutes. Hornets 31, Chicago 26, 9:25 to go in the quarter, and George Zedek, his Czechoslovakian name is Yuri, pronounced Yuri. The George is the Americanization of that. And you may recall, if you're really an NBA junkie, that Red Auerbach years ago tried to sign Yuri Zedek's dad to play for the Boston Celtics, considered the best player ever in Czechoslovakia.
Well, his dad is still playing at 51 years of age over there in one of the basketball leagues. Now, this young man graduated last year at UCLA, summa cum laude, with a 3.7 average in economics, and was rewarded with an academic scholarship by the NCAA for postgraduate work. He has already finished 1 year of law school in Czechoslovakia. He's quite an interesting guy.
Jordan back on the floor. While Jordan rested on the bench, the Bulls failed to score 1 single point. Now shot clock at 10. Randy Brown trying to score on Sutton into the lane, draws the foul. Good move by Randy Brown. Brown out of Mexico State in his 4th year in the NBA. He's 6'2", 191. You're looking at Greg Sutton. Greg also 6'2", 190 out of Oral Roberts.
Randy Brown to the line. He shoots 2.
Bill Wennington and Dennis Rodman are back on the floor for the Chicago Bulls.
Now, Brown played here in high school basketball in Chicago at Collins High School. They wanted another defender and a guy who can push the basketball. He has just signed a 4-year contract with the Bulls.
First point for Chicago in over 4 minutes. They scored none with Michael on the bench. Here's Zedek against Wennington. Zedek very strong. There's the hook shot made famous by his dad, and he's got it with both hands.
Yes, he can. He can hit that, and he can hit the 15 to 17-foot jump shot. He's crucially a good foul shooter. He shot 78% on the foul line at UCLA. He was hoping that he could get it going.
Joe Wolf left Wennington alone, and Wennington can hit that perimeter shot, as we've seen so many times in the past, and the Hornets now lead by 5. Kendall Gill set to get back into the game for Charlotte momentarily. This is Del Curry. 2-man game with Zedek against Wennington. Goes to the left hand this time. Jordan gets the rebound. Michael has 15 points, has not played until just moments ago in this second quarter. 8:11 to go in the first half. Larry Johnson also will be back in the ballgame momentarily for the Charlotte Hornets. Jordan in the paint, elevating. Oh, he has the elevation. We noticed last year, Hubie, you and I did his second game back in the NBA, that he did not have the Michael Jordan elevation. He said he knew that because of baseball muscle development. It's so different from basketball. That's what he worked on in the offseason.
And he only had 55 that night. If you remember.
I remember feeling so sorry for him.
Once again, Hancock in. That is their 5th offensive rebound. We say that the Bulls got Dennis Rodman, going to take care of the rebounding. Well, tonight, right now, they have 5 offensive boards, and they're definitely hurting Chicago.
Dennis Rodman with only 1 rebound so far here tonight. And let's find out about Scottie Pippen. Craig Sager, what's the story?
Well, Bob, this morning at the shoot-around, he complained of a groin and abdominal strain. He tried to play, as we saw that shot earlier. It started to bother him in the game. I just left the locker room, and right now it looks like he will not be back for the night. He apparently is through for the evening because it is bothering him very severely, and he's in the locker room right now, and word is he won't be back.
Thanks, Greg. We could see that as he was getting beaten, one of the best defensive players in the league, getting beaten off the dribble by Larry Johnson and Darren Hancock. And so now the Bulls, without him, they're also without Luke Longley tonight. He's on a 1-game suspension for his fight with Chris Webber. Michael Jordan missing from the corner. Rodman with his 2nd rebound of the night. Getting cheers here. They want to see more than 2 rebounds in a quarter and a half, however, from that man.
Right now, Curry is just that. He has got to stay with Curry.
3-second violation.
You know, we have seen 3 3-second calls here tonight, and that would usually be a month's worth of games.
We'd be well into February.
That's right.
And like you said, you know, we're not taking a side here about these 2 referees replacing the very good, overall very good NBA referees, but they're doing a nice job so far in this game. Zedek again backing in on Wennington. Left hand took him to the baseline for the right hand. Now he goes back to the left, and Zedek has 7.
Remember, we told you now, he averaged 11 points a game, playing half the game in the exhibition.
Michael misses. Zedek rebounds. It was Kendall Gill who just checked back in, who kept the ball alive. 38-31. Hornets with their biggest lead of the game. 6:25 to go in the first half.
For all you Michael Jordan stat freaks, Michael has played 14 minutes. He's taken 14 shots. He's 7 for 14.
He's right on track, except for the 7 for 14. That foul is on Bill Wennington, and we're going to get Ron Harper and Robert Parrish back into the game. Remember now, Matt Geiger and Khalid Reeves come to Charlotte from Miami, along with Glen Rice. Everybody presumes Glen Rice, who's a star shooter, great scorer, will step right in. But we heard Alan Bristow say today that he expects Matt Geiger and Khalid Reeves to also be starters. We'll see. It's going to be hard beating out Zedek the way he's played early in this game at the center position.
What you have to also remember is that Muggsy Bogues will be back in mid-December, as well as Scott Burrell at 6'7", small forward. They'll both be back ready to go.
Scottie, Dennis Rodman tried to get that rebound, and Robert Parrish took it away from him. Michael Jordan's jumper was flat. Hornets lead it by 7. Chance to increase to their biggest lead now. Larry Johnson tries to split Randy Brown and Simpkins, and he's fouled.
Well, Larry Johnson is off to a great start this season. He's established a power low post game. He is forcing Chicago to trap him. You'll see that he's passing out, but most of the time he is saying, I can split the trap and score or get fouled.
You can see Simpkins slow of foot compared to Jason Caffey. And Simpkins sits down, and Caffey is in now to try to shore up the defense inside.
Well, now they've just moved Dennis Rodman on Larry Johnson. This is the first time that he's been matched up with him.
This will be good to watch. 5:34 to go in the half. Sutton, pull-up jumper. Rodman kept it alive, and it's controlled by Ron Harper. So the Bulls have Harper, Randy Brown, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, and Jason Caffey, the rookie from Alabama, in the game. Harper in the paint. Harper for 20. Over the top, it'll belong to Charlotte. Harper not a great jump shooter. He is mainly a slasher. Needs to get his shots and his scoring off movement.
Well, one thing about Harper, 3 years he has scored over 20 points. His career basically was at Cleveland and then with the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, last year he only scored 6 points a game here. He did play in 77 games. He started 53, but he has never been able to find his legs.
And not really find comfort as Michael Jordan punched it away, but can't get to it. Good play by the young Darren Hancock, and Charlotte will have the ball with 12 on the shot clock.
Hello. The Hornets are winning by 7. They have 6 turnovers. They've missed 6 foul shots, and they have 5 air balls. Now, how can they be ahead in this game? All right, what do you think about it?
Jordan has 17 points. Balanced scoring, 7 from Sutton, Johnson, and Zedek, all 3 of them. 3 on the shot clock. Larry Johnson, does he know that? He's fouled. Same bailing him out here. I think Rodman is going to be called for it. That'll be 3 on Dennis Rodman already, including an early technical foul. And remember, Pippen's in the locker room with a groin injury.
And they're shooting the penalty. Now that was a big foul. Because, see, right now, Phil Jackson realizes he doesn't have anyone who can play this guy. Now, he's going to go with Judd Buechler. He'll take him right down inside. See, you can see this evening, his spin move is his #1 move. He took Pippen 3 times. He's taken Rodman. Any time that he feels that he can split you, or if you play him one-on-one, he's taking you right to the hole.
Those are the kind of moves we saw from Larry Johnson at UNLV to make him the #1 choice in the draft. Quickness, strength, speed, determination inside. Never really brought it. He's had a history of injury problems. He had more weight on him than he really wanted, but this year came in the best shape of his NBA career, and we are seeing an excellent start for LJ. 9 points in this first half, and the Hornets are up to their biggest lead of 9.
The Bulls have 2 field goals in 8.5 minutes.
Randy Brown with the jumper. That's 3 in 8.5 minutes. Michael Adams back in for Charlotte. Kendall Gill running it at the point, however, being defensed by Michael Jordan.
Well, Michael's been known to stop an awful lot of #2 players, and you can see Kendall Gill is off to a very slow start this evening.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Kendall Gill pulls up and hits the 3 just as you said.
That's right.
Maybe you were always known as a great motivator.
Hey, come on, he's 1 for 4 in the game.
Caffey, jump hook, roll ball, rebound, Harper. Nice hammered by Parrish. Parrish got the block. That's 2 blocks from Parrish. Here is Curry.
Nice pass.
All right. Charlotte playing very excellent basketball. I guess this trade hasn't stopped as much as I thought. That steal by Michael Adams has Gill. Adams all alone. 46-33. Hornets by 13.
That was a great pick of the pocket by Michael Adams. And down there, the play before, just beautiful passing.
Ron Harper just leveled Kendall Gill. Gill wanted to foul this yet, and it's going to be on Charlotte.
You know what's happening here, which is great? These two guys are in awe of Robert Parrish. Okay, Parrish has 3 blocks. Now just watch this. Robert gets him right on the hand. Robert has gotten away with at least 5 fouls here in his first half, right? But he has 3 blocks, and he's doing a terrific job on the defensive ball.
Well, he's literally old enough to be his ref's father. He's 42 years old. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Does Harper know it? 3-second lane violation with 3:13 to go in the half. What is that, 4 or 5 3-second violations that have been called by these substitute officials? The crowd already on them, but believe me, the Hornets on a 25-7 run in the last 9:45. It's not been the officiating. It's been excellent play from Charlotte.
4. Jordan with 19 points in this game.
We've seen that before. Ron Harper picked up the personal foul, and Larry Johnson goes back to the free throw line. Johnson now shoots the free throws a little bit better. He started out 1 of 4, and now 4 of 7. Tony Kukoc into the ball game. Kukoc has not scored. Nobody, as Hubie was telling you, Pippen, who's in the locker room with an injured groin. Dennis Rodman, who has 3 fouls, hasn't scored. Kukoc hasn't scored. Caffey, Simpkins, Bushler, no forwards have scored for Chicago in this game. 10 to shoot. Jordan missing his jumper, looking flat here in this quarter.
Robert Parrish is doing an excellent job. He just continues to block people out, get to the glass, keep the ball above his head. Now just watch this. Did they get the double team? Sure did.
Did that stop Larry Johnson from shooting? Sure didn't. Parrish tipped it and missed. Kukoc at 6'11" with a rebound.
Well, what Larry must do now is if they're going to give him the double and triple team, he's got to pass back out because they have some good perimeter people in this game right now.
10 to shoot. 1:41 to go in the half. Jordan,
look
hosting Michael Adams. He's just going to take it in. Oh, he's worth the price of admission still. 21 points for number 23. 48-37. Hornets by 11. A minute and a half to go in the first half.
Now, we knew he was going to beat Adams, but he just flew by 2 rotating guys. Took on 3 people at that.
Jordan, in the face of Gill, pulls up and shoots anyway, an air ball. The loose ball picked up by Curry, blocked by Jason Caffey. It'll belong to Charlotte with 20 on the shot clock.
Now that time, when that ball went out to Kendall Gill, he should have taken the ball right back in to Larry Johnson. Now just watch this. There's your block. Keep the block on the floor so you can fast break with it.
That's going to be an offensive foul against Charlotte, and they're going to call it on Kendall Gill. That'll be his 3rd. Coming up on the Reebok halftime report, Chuck Daly talks with Dennis Rodman. Chuck, of course, his coach when he was in Detroit. Chris Webber of the Washington Bullets takes us on a tour of the World Wide Web. He'll show off the NBA's new website, NBA.com, which is a great interest to all of us computer fanatics. Kukoc missing, Caffey rebounding and being fouled by Robert Parrish.
I think as the season goes on, Caffey is going to get major minutes, and he'll be out there with the first unit because he has a live body, he has a nose for the ball, especially the offensive board, and he has this uncanny ability to get fouled and get on the foul line.
I want to quit my job. No, I don't want to quit my job in case the boss is listening, but I want to manage Caffey and get him in the ring as a boxer. You told me that he has the upper body of a boxer, and he does.
I mean, he's really well proportioned, and in the line of power forwards that come out of the University of Alabama over the past 20 years is amazing.
There was another one in the draft,
Dice. And people who have seen him play this year are really impressed. You've got to get it over the floor. They just did in 1 second.
33 seconds to go in the half. 10 on the shot clock for Charlotte. Chicago has scored only 12 points in this quarter. Larry Johnson against Bushler. The double team causing problems. Chicago ball with 1 second on the shot clock. So they'll now have 21.8 seconds in the half, will the Bulls, and that's 9 Charlotte turnovers.
This is the ugliest half of basketball on behalf of the Chicago Bulls that I have seen in the last 6 or 7 years. I have never seen them play this poorly.
You know,
Michael Jordan said, we are not ready in the preseason. The Bulls were 5-3. He said, we're not ready. I like what our potential is, but we're not ready. And he's right. Charlotte, on the other hand, traded Alonzo Mourning today, and they're playing together pretty well. And they only have 9 players on their roster. Kukoc with his first basket of the game on a nice penetration. Hornets by 8. 7.6 seconds remaining in the first half. Curry, Hancock. That's the end of the half. And the Hornets lead it by 8, 48-40, and the 42-year-old Robert Parrish, 6 points, 9 rebounds, 3 block shots. He stood tall as Alonzo is headed to Miami. Back at the United Center, people on their feet applauding former Chicago Bulls who had played across the street. You see the signs and plaques they've been awarded. There's Bob Weiss, you just saw Norm Van Leer, Artis Gilmore's there, Bob Love, Dave Corzine, and of course you see Bill Cartwright at the end, and Hubie. I always think it's left of the screen of Artis Gilmore, the Kentucky Colonels, and Hubie Brown, and a championship.
Well, we won in '75. Artis was the MVP of the playoffs and had a terrific career. And what a hand the people gave to him here this evening.
There's Johnny Redcurve, of course, the first Chicago Bulls head coach. And it's a thrill here in Chicago. We're across the street from the old stadium, which is gone. I shed another tear. I'm going to have to get over the fact that the stadium's gone. It's the 90s, Bob. Now, the first half, Charlotte surprised the Chicago Bulls, the fans in the United Center, and the two of us by coming out here and playing excellent basketball after trading Alonzo Mourning away today. The Bulls, on the other hand, were flat, disorganized. Scottie Pippen is hurt, won't be back in the game because of a groin pull he had suffered earlier in the preseason. Dennis Rodman hasn't done very much.
No, but Scottie Pippen, 9 minutes, no shot attempts, no foul shot attempts, no rebounds. That's the biggest loss. They'll get going here in the second half and probably come out and steamroll. But right now, give Charlotte their due. They're out-rebounding them. They're getting second shots. They're getting to the foul line. Robert Parrish is playing terrific, and they're getting great bench support.
And the substitute referees are playing pretty well, too. Calling 4 or 5 3-second lane violations. You don't see that until about January. Let's take a look at the stats in the first half of play, and there's 2 things that jump right out of us. First of all, the Bulls can't get any scoring from the front court, save for Winnington, and Kukoc had 1 basket. And the Hornets bench is giving them great balance.
Well, Sutton with 7, and then Hancock with 6. Is major for the bench for the Hornets. 2 young players coming in with a lot of athleticism. Now you can also see the field goal percentage shooting. The Bulls really struggled. They only had 14 points in the second quarter. And then give Parrish a lot of credit. He's going after shots. Not only does he have the 3 blocks, he also has a game-high 9 rebounds.
Michael Jordan was on the bench for about 4 minutes in the second quarter. During that period, the Chicago Bulls failed to score. Back for the second half right after this. .48-40 Charlotte. Chicago has more than half of their points scored by his airness. 21 points for Michael on 9 of 18, and as you see, only 19 from the rest of the Chicago Bulls, including none from Rodman, none from Pippen.
Well, he just blows right by Michael. Now watch how he takes on the next 3 guys. Clifton comes up with the left-handed scoop shot. Beautiful move by Michael. He's 9 for 18, like you said, but he's only 1 for 4 in threes. Larry Johnson has a big advantage. He's on a roll down inside. You know that he can split the people, and watch how he just blows right by Pippen. But then we also realize Pippen has the groin as well as the stomach pull. Now here is that beautiful baseline spin. He's done it time in and time out this evening.
And Dennis Rodman only 2 rebounds early in this ball game. They are both deep. He has a total of 3. 2 offensive rebounds, 1 defensive rebound, and for him, that is like he's not even here. Dennis Rodman, the NBA's 4-time rebounding champion, averaged 11 rebounds plus in limited minutes in the preseason and led all the rebounders in the NBA.
Well, I think if you're a fan, you came here this evening, expecting tenacious defense by Chicago. We have not seen that at all. You expected to see Chicago out on the fast break with some highlight film dunks. We have not seen that. You expected to see the triangle offense getting high percentage shots. We're not seeing that. At the other end of the floor, this team is ahead by 8 in spite of missing 7 foul shots. Charlotte has 10 turnovers. They have 5 air balls, and they are winning by 8.
And in spite of missing Alonzo Mourning, who was traded today from Miami, Matt Geiger, Khalid Reeves, and Glen Rice from Miami will join the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow.
You know, on this trap, all they have to do is take the trap and throw the ball back to the guy coming in from out of bounds. Chicago takes it off right there.
Zedek has it blocked by Michael Jordan. He knew that was coming. Penetrated into the lane, tipped it away. 48-40, Chicago Bulls. Jordan with 21 in the first half. And in the second half here, Kukoc is starting for Chicago in place of Scottie Pippen, who is in the locker room with a groin injury and will not return tonight.
Robert Parrish just doing an outstanding job in this ball game. He played 16 minutes in that half. Gave him 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 block shots.
10 on the shot clock for Larry Johnson against Kukoc.
Kukoc can't guard him.
Johnson's fadeaway jumper goes down. He has 13. You're right about that.
I mean, they should just come down every time and go into Larry Johnson if Kukoc is going to guard. Force the double team and then pick out the perimeter.
Whittington missing from 19 feet. A little out of his range. Kept alive by Kendall Gill. Charlotte up by 10. 10:51 to go, third quarter.
Charlotte needs Gill to get his act going here right now. He's 2 for 6 from the floor. Right now, there's another turnover. That's their 11th turnover. We told you that anytime that you're going to pull an upset in the NBA, you got to maintain it for 48 minutes. But the key is you've got to cut down on the silly turnovers so that you get more shot attempts.
11-8. Charlotte with a turnover advantage or disadvantage as it may be. Harper off the glass, posting up Michael Adams.
Well, this is going to force Alan Christo's hand, especially if they come down and continue to go to Harper, because it's just too easy for him going up over the top of Adams.
Rodman defending Zedek. He's the rookie out of UCLA. Johnson taking it inside. Turnaround jumper, not this time. Whittington took the rebound away from Rodman. Dennis will have to chat with Bill about that. Dennis is supposed to have that ball.
This is good basketball. Go right in the heart.
And they reverse the ball through Whittington to Coach, who gets the easy lay-in. The Hornets lead by 6.
You like to see intelligent play. When you have a mismatch like that, Harper, Adams, you go into it, you take the double team, and then good ball reversal will get you easy shots.
Zedek's hook shot, not this time. Got his own rebound away from Rodman, blocked by Kukoc. Adams has Zedek down inside. The hook shot again. This time it'll go down. That is as old-fashioned a looking hook shot as his dad or George Mikan would throw up there.
I like the fact that he is being aggressive and is looking for the shot.
Has 9 points. Adams got the steal, and then the foul is going to be on.
Isn't it nice how Adams steals the ball? When you dribble it, he goes for it as the ball hits the floor. That's where he makes the steal. Now, keep an eye on this. They're going back inside. This is his 3rd attempt. Now, he's had 1 blocked in this series. Boom, up and in.
It's 1957. Kukoc was called for the foul after the Adams steal, and now Kukoc called for another quick personal foul. That's 2 on Zoni.
Kukoc is feeling the pressure right now. He knows that they're wearing him out by going to Johnson. So what he'll try to do now is play the passing lane, try to go for the steal.
I want to remind everybody, in case you dialed in late, also Luke Longley suspended for this game because of his fight with Chris Webber in the preseason. So the Bulls started Whittington at center. There's a steal from Ron Harper. Bulls have 3 on 3. Harper doesn't see anything develop. He's going to give it to Whittington, who takes it right down the lane.
Maybe that will wake this team up and get them going.
Hornets by 6.
The main thing you need right now at Charlotte is a little better spacing when they go into Larry Johnson. But we told you there's so many new guys out there. Adams did not play in one exhibition because of a hamstring. Zedek is a rookie, so they need the spacing. Nice move.
Dennis Rodman takes the flop, doesn't get the call from Keith McClellan and William Kennedy, the substitute officials here. Zedek gets the basket, and Zedek has 11 points. Jordan for 3. Michael has 24.
Michael is now 2 for 5 in the 3.
Hornets lead has been as many as 10. It is reduced to 5 points with 7:56 to go in the third quarter.
They're bringing Zedek to the ball with a baseline screen by Larry Johnson.
Backing in Rodman. There's the hook shot again. Not this time. Rodman gets the rebound.
See, Rodman is fighting him with his body, and he's not getting any fouls.
Jordan for 3. Michael with 27. And as you've seen so many times before, when the Bulls come back, it's on the back of number 23.
See, Michael went right to the referee and said, I got hit on the elbow.
Down into Larry Johnson against Kukoc again. He'll just hit that all night long. All night. Now, here's what I don't understand. Kukoc is 11 feet. He could have 6'11". 11 feet would really be helpful. Could get his arms up down.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing is he's playing passively. You got to get up against Johnson and deny the pass inside or front him inside and then jam the passer. You just can't let him continue to catch the ball.
Kendall Hill missing off the glass. Dennis Rodman with the rebound, and the foul is on Zedek. And we'll be back to the United Center in just a moment. The Hornets lead has been cut to 4. Hornets leading at 56-52. The lead's been cut to 4 with 6:49 to go in the third quarter.
We're going to see Michael Jordan hit his second 3 of the game. And now we're going to show you coming down the floor. He is looking for this more this year. He'll take the 3. He is now 3 for 6. Now watch him complain that he was hit on the elbow on the shot.
By the way, Michael Jordan now with 22,025 points, become 13 on the list of all-time NBA scorers.
Well, when Michael retired in 9 years, he averaged 32 points a game. That's the most amount of points any player has ever averaged. Plus, he led the league in scoring 7 times to tie Wilt Chamberlain 7 times.
Rodman looking for Harper, posting up Michael Adams. Winnington. Jordan off that triple post cut on the weak side. Jordan came up with a loose ball and gets it to Kukoc. Rebound, Robert Parrish. He has 11 boards, does the 42-year-old Chief. Morning traded today at noon to Miami for Geiger, Rice, and Khalid Reeves for Charlotte. They'll join the team tomorrow.
They're taking Larry Johnson up higher now to give him more room. And we come up with another turnover. That's their 13th turnover.
Harper came away with it after the double team. Kukoc inside to Rodman's first basket as a Chicago Bull.
Well, that's Kukoc at his best because he's so unselfish. He'll always give the ball up. What do they call him over in Europe? The Pink Panther, the Alien.
The Waiter.
The Waiter. I mean, he has so many names.
Johnson penetrating inside, missing Kukoc with the rebound. The Bulls with an opportunity to tie or better on this possession. That pass came from Kukoc. Might want to see him out on the point some. The Bulls without a true point guard. Harper missing the turnaround jumper.
Oh boy, 3-on-2 here now.
Michael Adams with the penetration. No look to Parrish. That'll fall 9 out of 10 times, but that was the 9th time. Kukoc on the break from Michael. Fouled by Zedek.
That was just enough of a foul to disrupt the shot so that he would not score the layup and get the possible 3-point play.
Taking a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard. Atlanta and Indiana close in the third quarter. Toronto leading New Jersey. And our friend Doug Collins trailing the New York Knicks in his opener.
For the Hornets replacing Michael Adams.
Dallas and San Antonio. Will Purdue, of course, when Bulls went down to San Antonio for Dennis Rodman. Seattle and Utah. We'll have games on Tuesdays and Fridays on TNT all year long, and on Wednesdays on TBS. Like to welcome to our Turner Sports family, Vern Lundquist, who will do the play-by-play on Tuesdays, and Dick Stockton, one of the best in the business, will join Chuck Daly on the TBS games on Wednesday. Also, Danny Ainge and Cheryl Miller will be joining our Turner Sports family. We're happy to have them all. 7 on the shot clock. 4. Does Johnson know it? Yes. 4-3. Air ball. Jordan plucks it out of the air.
Well, Kukoc got a piece of that. Definitely blocked that shot.
Jordan fouled on the drive, and an opportunity to go to the line and give the Bulls the lead for the first time since Chicago led 26-25 late in the first quarter.
Well, the difference in the first and third quarters, Chicago getting to the foul line. In the first half, they only attempted in the first half 8 foul shots. They are not fouling Charlotte. Charlotte is not getting to the foul line with any kind of consistency. They're just doing a better job from a defensive standpoint.
Michael Jordan is 4 out of 5 from the line, has a total of 29 in this game tonight, and the Bulls regain the lead for the first time since late in the first period. Apply full court pressure.
Well, they're starting out the third quarter just like they did quarter 1. All right, now they're coming with the trap at half court.
Chicago on a 12-2 run. Sutton back into the ball game to run the point for the Charlotte Hornets, looking for Zedek, who has Michael Jordan posted low, and they're going to get Jordan for reaching in. Another thing I've noticed from these substitute referees is they don't seem to respect the superstars.
No, they're calling it like, you know, you're just number 23. And you can see Michael is not allowing Zedek to get that pass inside. Anytime that you play a post guy, you never want to keep coming down in the same position defensively. Michael fought him for that, but you could see he grabbed his arm.
Keith McClellan, William Kennedy, the substitute officials, the regular NBA refs are outside picketing. Take a look at the shooting. 4:27 to go in the third quarter. Charlotte trailing by 2. Zedek looking for his hook again. On the double team, Sutton, long range, rebound, Wennington. Bulls by 2. Harper. 11 points in the game for Ron Harper. Well, he averaged only 6 last year.
See, any time that you stop the try, it's a good time now. Right now, they're struggling, plus they're not reacting defensively.
NBA refs picketing outside before this ball game, locked out in their labor negotiation dispute with the NBA. Craig Sager talked to Mike Mathis.
From your standpoint, what is the problem? What are you guys asking for? Why are you picketing?
It's very simple. We said from day one, I don't know too many negotiators that go into a room and say my bottom line and this is where the deal is, but that's what we said. And we told them we wanted to be paid comparable to hockey and baseball. When we're all paid comparable to hockey and baseball, we'll be in there working. Right now, we're not. I can go back to the early 1980s. We were the highest paid pro sports officials. Right now, we're the lowest paid, and that's not easy to take, and that's not what we want.
Hubie, your thought on that?
Well, I think, look, they're the best referees in the world. You want them out here. We have 3 of them working the games. They cover everything. They understand the temperament of the game and the rules and how to abide by the rules. What you don't want to see is 2 guys who are being overmatched, who are trying to do the best job possible. Anytime you have 2 referees today, you cannot cover 1/3 of the floor. There's no doubt about it. With the 3-point shot and all of the action on the opposite side, we're asking 2 young guys who have never been in the NBA to work a perfect game, okay? And these 2 young guys tonight are doing a very solid job. They really are. But if you talk to these people on the 1/3 of the floor on the opposite side, fortunately tonight we have not seen any skip passing where a 3-point shot goes up and you say, gee, was he on the line or was he behind the line or in front of the line? We had to go to 3 referees to cover the offside 1/3 because of the size, strength, and quickness of the athlete in the NBA.
Foul was on Wennington, speaking of referees, and Sutton knocks down the free throws. The Bulls lead it by 2 with 3:40 remaining in the third quarter. Michael Jordan. Posted Gill. The jumper goes down. Michael, 31 tonight.
One thing we said was that Kendall Gill Larry Johnson and Parrish would have to play big games here tonight. Parrish is playing as good as he can play. Larry Johnson is playing a very solid game. Kendall Gill got to step up here if they're going to pull off this win in this building.
Johnson inside loses an opportunity for a good shot and is fouled. Don't forget the NBA unveiled its home page on the World Wide Web, NBA.com. You see the entire address there. That was unveiled tonight. Check it out to learn everything about the NBA. First thing I got to do is get a computer. Although some people call me the computer. Kukoc with the lay-in. That'll be 8 points. Hear it.
Well, you like to see that. You see, a good timeout, 20-second timeout by Alan Bristow. They're shooting 31% for the quarter, and they have 4 turnovers. So naturally, they cannot get anything going. They have only scored 8 points in this quarter, and we have played 9 minutes. So right now, he's trying to regroup his squad. Not so much from the defensive end, because you knew that Chicago would eventually get it together here. But what he needs is he needs his club to start finding some offense. When you get the double teams, find the people. This is just a nice spin move by Kukoc. No double teams. He has a major height advantage over Curry, and he just took him to school with a good baseline drop step.
Michael Jordan has 10 in the quarter. The Bulls have scored 24 to only 8 for Charlotte with 2:52 to go.
The guy who has to step up is Kendall Gill. He's 2 for 7 in the game, and he's having difficulty getting shots off. High percentage shot.
Curry, good outside shooter, drops that down, but Curry is not the best of health either.
Well, he had an operation on his ankle this summer, and you can see he only played 2 games.
Michael Jordan! Yeah, he's got the elevation. The hang time we talk about was there for that easy little floater in the paint. Oh, it's worth the price of admission.
Now, it's just a strong move to the right. He catches Sutton right there. You can see it. There's the hit.
And a three-point opportunity for Michael Jordan. Michael has 33.
The thing that you like about Michael this evening is he's not straining on any of the shot attempts. He's not forcing anything. Everything is just coming within the flow of the game.
33 points have come within the flow so far with 2:27 to go in the third. Bulls by 5. And the defense starting to take its toll on Charlotte now. And Del Curry is going to get a technical foul as he argues with Keith McClellan.
Well, you know, Del Curry was definitely fouled on that shot. And he's coming across, and he said something to the referee. He just wished that he could have possibly ran by and not called it at that time, because he was definitely hit on that shot.
Michael knocks down the technical foul free throw and has 34 in the game now. And it's a 6-point Bulls lead. Steve Kerr is going to come on the floor for Chicago. And Ron Harper will sit down. Harper's had himself a pretty good game tonight, 11 points. Simpkins in for Chicago. He wears number 8. Rodman posting up down inside, but he won't see much on offense except for rebounds. Simpkins spins inside Zedek, then jams it and is fouled by the rookie from UCLA.
Well, they're an entirely different team this quarter. We're seeing them going back to the triangle offense, and they're actually moving. That's a nice move by Simpkins, and he goes for the... See, right there, Zedek should have gone for the block. If he went for the block that time, he would have fouled him. He never would have gotten a shot off with a potential three-point play.
Zedek with 4 personal fouls will go to the bench, and Joe Wolf comes in for Charlotte. Wolf has 1 foul in limited minutes in the first half. And Dickie Simpkins from Cincinnati, the Bulls' #1 choice last year, will find himself in a real battle for playing time with Jason Caffey.
Well, Simpkins is out of Providence, and he's one of the many young Providence players. There's another shot.
Here's Michael Jordan.
Look out.
Oh! Take a picture, make a poster. 36 for Michael. I was thinking of Corey Glen for Cincinnati. Curry, three-pointer misses. Rodman with the rebounds. Bulls on the run. Kukoc, pull up. Simpkins missing. Rodman missing. rebound, Larry Johnson. Sutton. Joe Wolf doesn't get the bounce, but Sutton gets the loose ball back inside to Larry Johnson. He's fouled by Michael Jordan.
Now, the building is humming. This is what they thought this game was going to be like. Total mismatch with a lot of activity. Here comes Michael, just catch it all.
A rim rattler. Here, let's listen to it. Well, you couldn't hear it for the crowd, but nevertheless, the Bulls have a 10-point lead with 1:18 to go in the third quarter, and Michael Jordan has 36 points. Larry Johnson's been quiet since opening up the game. Very strong, had 11 at the half, and he has been just disastrous at the free throw line tonight. He's had 9 attempts. He's only hit 5. 6 of 10.
Anytime that you fully upset out on the road, you know, if you're a heavy underdog or you're short people, the foul line and the turnovers are the two things that are going to kill you. You have to be perfect in those areas.
And the steal by Del Curry. Back comes Charlotte. Curry's pull-up jumper doesn't fall. He'll follow his own shot. Del Curry. And the Hornets battling back in, trailing 71-64, under a minute to go in the third quarter. The Hornets led 48-40 at halftime.
Nice, don't force.
Jordan floating in the lane, and the foul. That's 38 points for Michael.
What he's saying here right now is you have no guards who can guard you. And I'm on my way. Just watch the push-up. See the push-up? Now, that was Michael at his best. That left hand was down. Just keep an eye on Michael's left hand. He just pushes Sutton right off, elevates, takes it back to the ball, and then on the fade, hits the shot.
And a technical was called against Larry Johnson, who has 3 personals and the technical now. And Michael will shoot that and the free throw for the foul to make that 39 points for Jordan. After he drops this one down, which he almost certainly will, he'll have 40 with nearly 45 seconds to go in the third period. Welcome back, Michael. He came with, how many games were left? 17 games last year when he rejoined the Bulls. They went 13-4 with Michael. He, of course, wasn't in really good shape, but he electrified the basketball world. All of us were happy to see him back. He got criticized for his play in the playoffs as not being the Michael of old. However, Hubie showed you earlier, statistically, he was pretty darn good. But now he's lost some weight that he had gained from baseball and has worked on his leg strength again for the first time in his life, really, in the offseason. Johnson driving. No call. Simpkins goes to the floor. Bulls up by 11 with 20 seconds to go in the third.
No hold for the last shot. All they want him to do is give the ball up and then try not up. Well, he just got it back. Enough of that.
Steve Kerr's pull-up jumper goes down. The Bulls go up by 13. That's their biggest lead in the game. Hancock trying to get all the way. The scoop will go. Hancock coast to coast with 1 second left in the half, and Hancock throws his body between the pass, and that will count. It was a 3.
Yeah, no way can that be. First of all, the ball hit the player in the back when
With
it
1
hit him
second.
in the back, and it went off. Once the ball hit him and it dropped to the floor, the quarter should have ended, okay?
Yeah, no way that should
It
count.
wasn't the referee's fault. It was a late start of the clock with the timer. Now, you give Buchler credit because he was heads up and hustled for the shot.
All right, let's take a look at this buzzer beater, or is it, at the end. Notice here, after the basket go in, 1 second remains.
Now, the ball hits the defender right there, and you can see the horn was late, okay? They were late getting to it, but Buchler was heads up. The officials definitely blew their whistle when the horn sounded. It's not their fault.
So Buchler hits the 3 to increase the lead. Chicago outscored Charlotte 40-18 in the quarter. Michael outscored Charlotte 19-18 in the quarter. 6 of 7 from the floor. Jordan has 40 in the game. Randy Brown, Steve Kerr, Judd Bushler, Dickie Simpkins, and Dennis Rodman on the floor for Chicago. Scottie Pippen, as Kerr knocks it down, Scottie Pippen is in the locker room with a groin injury, will not return to this game. Luke Longley suspended for 1 game because of the preseason fight with Chris Webber in Washington. And Alonzo Mourning has been traded from Charlotte to Miami. So both of these teams playing without key players here tonight. Remaining in this game, the Bulls up by 16.
Nice pass.
Rodman tipping it, keeping it alive in his typical rebounding style. Has 9 rebounds tonight. Not a big night for Rodman compared to his usual performance of 15-20. Brown on the drive off the glass. Johnson with the rebound out to Greg Sutton. It's 2-on-1. Curry from Greg Sutton missed the lay-in.
Let me tell you about Curry. He only played in 2 exhibition games. He had an operation on his ankle this summer and then re-injured it in camp. So he's out there struggling right now. He's only 3 for 9 from the floor. You can see all of his shots are short. He just does not have any height, any hop, and then the follow-through. The follow-through is fading.
You see that New York beat Detroit tonight in the Motor City, and our buddy Doug Collins, who's the new head coach of the Detroit Pistons, losing to our friend Don Nelson, who's the new head coach of the New York Knicks. Of course, Hibby and I are friends with all of them. Speaking of NBA action, next week we have a couple of really good ones. Matter of fact, we have 3 for you. Tuesday, I'll join Danny Ainge and Cheryl Miller in New York for the Suns and Knicks. Question there, does Barkley and Ewing have one more chance to get back to the finals? On Friday, the doubleheader, Orlando versus the Celtics at the New Fleet Center. And the Clippers go to Vancouver in a beautiful facility in a beautiful city. We'll have that doubleheader on for you next week. Zedek back into the ball game. Defensing Simpkins. 3 on the shot clock. Bushler knew that. Almost got it. Darren Hancock. Blocking foul.
Good call.
Randy Brown.
He definitely did not have the area. He was close. It was close, but it happened right in front of us. Good angle. Referee was right on top of that. You're going to see he jumped. See?
Yeah, absolutely.
He definitely was late.
82-66 Chicago, 10-13 to go. Charlotte led 48-40 at the half, and then Michael Jordan exploded for 19 in the 3rd quarter. The Bulls defense shut down Charlotte. Looking for Zedek against Rodman. Tried to hit Curry on the cut. Curry knocked it out of bounds. 11 on the clock for the Hornets. The Hornets will get Matt Geiger, Glen Rice, and Khalid Reeves from Miami in the trade for Alonzo Mourning, plus number 196 draft choice. Greg Sutton with 8 on the shot clock. Takes Kerr off the dribble. Simpkins rebounds.
Everything this half for Charlotte has been forced. They're not getting to the foul line. No inside game.
Hancock tipped it away on an excellent defensive play. Here comes Sutton against Brown. Brown with a steal. Bushler open at the other end for the easy jump.
Brown's going to make a lot of things happen. We realized, you know, when he first started in the quarter, second quarter when he came into the game, he threw a couple of air balls. Then he hit that one shot, and he's feisty. He's going to be out there. He'll make things happen with the second unit. The steals will come. He'll generate the electricity, and they'll get out on the break.
Philadelphia beat Washington by 2. That final tonight. Jerry Stackhouse, one of the electrifying rookies this year, along with David Stoudemire, had 27 in that game, and others. Rasheed Wallace, Kevin Garnett, the high schooler playing at Minnesota. On the drive, Sutton, the basket and the foul. Nice play by Sutton. This has been an interesting contest here tonight. First of all, Dennis Rodman joins the team. That's the talk. Then they trade Mourning before the game starts. Then during the game, Scottie Pippen re-injures his groin and abdomen, has to go out, is not returning. Mourning was traded, so
And the Charlotte Hornets playing only with 9 players tonight. And Dennis Rodman, who's playing for Chicago, has a sore toe. And Luke Longley's on suspension. Did I get it all?
No, because we have Muggsy Bogues and Burrell both out with injuries until mid-December, and they're 2 key players for Charlotte.
I just ran out of time. Randy Brown on the drive and the foul against Charlotte. 84-69 Bulls. Sutton is called for the personal. You're looking at George Zidek. He's a Czechoslovakian native. Played his college ball at UCLA. He told you earlier. Graduated with a 3.8 summa cum laude in economics. Has, what, a year of his law degree already earned. That's in Czechoslovakia. His mother is a doctor. His father, they say, was the greatest basketball player in the history of Czechoslovakia.
When his mother died in 1986, she was held in such reverence by the people. 3,000 people were at the funeral. Mother died of leukemia. And it's interesting. Bob Bass, who's been around basketball for a long time, as general manager of San Antonio, now at Charlotte, made a statement. In his 20 years of working out seniors, he said he's never had a guy come in and work as hard as Zidek did for Charlotte. That's why they drafted him. And they said to him, you know, how come you work so hard to do what you've done? And he looked at the guy and he said, because I needed a job.
That's pretty good.
That's a whole new concept.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he learned in economics.
That's right.
He was at 16. He was there during some of the violence between the communist regime in Czechoslovakia and the populace. So he's seen a lot in his young life. Rebound by Jason Caffey, the rookie from Alabama. The one draft choice. Nice play, kept alive by Simpkins. Back to Bushler, who's looked very good in this ball game tonight.
Well, their second unit, if you put Winnington out there with this group, they have an opportunity to be an active group, Bob. But the key for them is going to be when they play the good defensive second units as you run through some of the tough playoff teams, is will they be able to establish a half-court offense?
I love that 1957 hook shot from George Zidek.
Well, he's been more than anybody thought. They thought that he would be a rebounder defender, never thinking that he would score the amount of points. We thought he averaged 11 in the exhibition and already has double figures here this evening.
Here is Caffey being defended by Joe Wolf. Caffey missing the short jumper. Charlotte. Greg Sutton handling over on the left wing. Muggsy Bogues still out with an injury. Sutton and Michael Adams are splitting time at the point, getting a little bit of relief from Kendall Gill, who was the 2-1. Reminder, coming up right after this first telecast of 1995-96 on Turner Sports, we'll have Inside the NBA on TNT, wall-to-wall highlights. Danny Ainge talks to his buddy Charles Barkley. So join Ernie Johnson, Reggie Theus, Cheryl Miller, Chris Webber inside the NBA right after our game tonight. Rebound by Gill, stolen from Brown. Keen to break, bad pass, all alone, Gill. In the first half, the Charlotte bench really embarrassed Chicago's bench, but here in the second half, it's been Kukoc, Kerr, Simpkins, Brown, Bushler. They've been instrumental in that comeback.
God, there's been excellent movement at the Chicago end of the floor. Right here, look at this. That's a nice move.
That Bushler out of Arizona, teammate with Kerr there. Simpkins has 6 rebounds in this half. Brown, 4 points. Bushler now 9 points. Kukoc, 8 points and 6 assists.
Well, they're getting much better ball movement, Bob, and plus they're getting out in the open floor. They're making some nice things happen. At this end of the floor, I'm just disappointed in this half. Larry Johnson, Kendall Gill, non-existent. They're going to do it. They had to play big.
Chicago Bulls with a 16-point lead. It all happened in the third quarter. Charlotte had led by 8 at the half. At the beginning of the ball game, everybody wondered, will Michael come back in good shape? Oh, you bet. Michael has 40 right now, and he got off to that kind of start. Second quarter story was Scottie Pippen, who had been bothered by a groin and abdominal pull, just couldn't get it done and had to go to the locker room. He did not return, will not play. Robert Parrish, at 42 years of age, played 16 minutes in the first half with 9 rebounds and 6 points. In the third quarter, the ball movement from Chicago, and Michael showing the legs of old and the 3, and Jordan with 40 points. We now have 6:36 to go in the game, and the Bulls have the 15-point lead as Larry Johnson has had a nightmare at the line tonight.
Well, Larry Johnson, 11 points in the first half and only 6 in the second half. Kendall Gill, 6 for the game. Larry Johnson, 6 for 11 on the foul line tonight.
Kukoc missing inside. Larry Johnson gets the rebound there to Michael Adams, playing with a sore hamstring. Bulls lead it by 15, 6:13 to go in the game. You wonder if the 9-man Charlotte roster has it left in them to make any kind of run here at the United Center. Charlotte has never won in this building, only once in Chicago in their franchise history. Jordan kept it alive, but it's corralled by Adams. Nice pass inside, Kendall Gill. Bulls by 13.
You're still not out of the woods, but what you need is a monster defensive effort out here.
Jordan into Simpkins. Nice play by Dickie Simpkins.
Nice pass by Michael Jordan. Took the trap, and then no one came across to help out on the man who was rolling to the hole.
Bulls could be stronger inside this year, no question about that, with Dennis Rodman, Simpkins, Cathy, Luke Longley at center. Longley out on a 1-game suspension for a preseason fight. Hancock brings that one over Judd Bushler. Darren Hancock has really impressed Briscoe in the preseason and impressed me here tonight. I'm sure he'll be interested in that. Bushler from 18. From Randy Brown. Bulls sinking into a rhythm now and looking pretty good.
Well, the second unit has come in, and any time that you have Kukoc and Wennington, and then now with Brown with the defense, and then Bushler, and then you have Simpkins and Cathy, you really have an excellent nucleus here to put together a strong second unit.
8 on the shot clock. Larry Johnson traveled before he tried to attack Tony Kukoc. And Charlotte has 19 turnovers in the game.
Well, the second half, Bob, you can see the smoothness is not there. They're not fluid at all. They have not been able to get high percentage shots. And then what we said, they could not get to the foul line. Larry Johnson not only is struggling offensively, he has 6 turnovers in this game.
Charlotte's only scored 30 points in the second half with 4 minutes to go in the game. 4 on the shot clock. Michael's going to have to pull up for that 3. Gill goes for the rebound. 4:13 to go. Chicago, in the minds of most people, if they stay healthy, probably the leading contender to win the NBA championship. Larry Johnson gets the offensive line, sticks it back in inside of Kukoc. Bulls by 13.
Michael has launched this evening 7 threes, 3 for 7.
Behind the back, Michael went to the reverse, wanted the foul, didn't get it. Steve Kerr can't hold on to it. It was punched away beautifully by Darren Hancock. Maybe I mentioned it before. He is impressive.
Well, he's having a good night tonight. In the first half, he came off the bench, picked up a quick 6, Sutton with 7. You know, they energized. Nice pass, Michael.
Zedek with the foul, trying to block the shot of Dickie Simpkins.
Now, Kukoc threw that lob to Michael, thinking that Michael would be able to catch it, come from the rafters, and dropped it in. But Michael was smart enough to know, I am not getting undercut in this game with 3.5 minutes to go. You know, up by 19, I'm not going to go get undercut. So he unselfishly hit Simpkins, who's moving to the basket.
Phil Jackson giving his uninvited opinion to Tony Kukoc about Kukoc's defensive play inside. And he's heard the ire of Phil Jackson many times. He will often go soft. Be reluctant to take his 6'11" into somebody, and Larry Johnson punished him earlier. And what do you think of the beard with Phil Jackson? You know, he's kind of a Zen Buddhist kind of guy. The beard add to that, you think?
I think the only person that he has to impress is his wife. I don't think they're really worrying about our critique, you and I, whether or not he should keep his...
You're not going to answer, huh? You know, he has a new book out called Sacred Hoops, called Zen in Basketball. I'm going to get that. 94-82, Bulls by 12. 3:09 to go in the game. Plenty of time if Charlotte was showing any kind of offensive explosiveness, which they are not. Beautiful pass, Jordan inside to Buechler. Buechler now 6 of 8 from the floor in this game and playing very well off the bench. He has 13. Kendall Gill is trying to go off the glass. Rebound, Rodman out to Buechler. Rodman running the court back third to Buechler. He was open for the shot. Crowd wanted it. Bulls having their way now with 2:25 to go. 10 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. There's the bailout man. He misses. Simpkins with the offensive board. Took it from Darren Hancock. 7 rebounds for Dickie Simpkins. He started slowly tonight. Jason Caffey, the rookie, came in and replaced him quickly. Since then, Simpkins has played tough. Jordan from Buechler.
Buechler's giving you heady play here. Not only is he scoring, he's looking at the clock. He's making sure that they get into their offense, and then he's making the extra pass.
Let's go back to courtside reporter Craig Sager.
Well, Bob, when Dennis Rodman reported to the Bulls, his hair was red with a black Bulls logo. He promised something special for opening night. I asked him, what the heck is it? He said it's a bleeping mistake. My hairdresser messed up. I told him he could probably salvage it by putting a red TNT on it and passing it off as our mic flag.
Yeah, but that'll cost a lot of money. That'll take us out of the promotional budget. Rodman, by the way, Hubie, I got a kick out of this. Dennis, you know, the Chicago Bulls coaches all huddle in front of the bench when they call timeout while the players sit down. Phil Jackson and the rest of his coaches. Rodman just walked right out there with them. I guess he'll learn that that's not where he's supposed to be. Minute 50 to go in this game. It's been all Chicago in the second half. They trailed by 8.
Lob from Greg Sutton.
That was very nice. They set a back screen up on the right side of the floor. Michael Jordan, a point a minute. 42 points, 42 minutes. 6 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, I like Jordan. He's okay. Kukoc in the paint draws the foul. So the big story for Charlotte, of course, is how they're going to respond and adjust, and it's going to be a tremendous pressure on Alan Bristow to get this team, only 9 players suited up tonight, to adjust to Alonzo Mourning being traded to Miami from Matt Geiger, Khalid Reeves, and Glen Rice.
Big thing is going to be the chemistry. You have to first of all decide your starting lineup, and then again in December you're getting back Burrell and Muggsy Bogues. So that will change it again. But you play tomorrow night, you have Philadelphia at home. Now, in every available practice session, you're working on blending guys in. It's not like baseball where you just bring your glove and you can play right away. In football and in basketball, it's 11 guys and 5 guys on a string, execution, timing, knowing little idiosyncrasies, getting the ball to people where they want it in their favorite place. That takes months and months of playing together.
Buechler saved what would have been an errant pass. Minute 11 to go in this game. Dennis Rodman has set down his debut with Chicago. Less than spectacular, except for the hair. 2 points, 11 rebounds. Kerr, the running jump hook, doesn't fall. Kukoc with the rebound and the football.
Well, the second unit, outside of Michael Jordan, the second unit has just been outstanding. They have come in, great team play. They're getting on the board. They've played pretty good defense. They've been able to get out in the open floor and cause some fluid and get the people in the building to start cheering and waking everybody up. Seeing good passing.
Kukoc tonight, 7 rebounds, 6 assists to go to his 11 points. 31 seconds to go in the game. Kukoc double clutching and scoring again now with 13. By the way, the Hornets' next 5 games, relatively easy for them. The teams that did not make the playoffs will be their opponents. Tomorrow, Philadelphia at Charlotte. Detroit goes to Charlotte Tuesday. Then the Hornets will go through Washington next Wednesday, next Friday at Philadelphia, then next Saturday at Toronto. Those games will all be like preseason in this sense. I mean, they count, But Alan Bristow is going to have to be working a team together, practicing, trying to find who's going to be playing what during those NBA games.
Yeah, but you see, your key guys have got to step up. And he didn't get that here tonight. Every game is going to be a struggle. But Larry Johnson and Kendall Gill, they have got to step up here. We're not talking getting 20 points. We're talking getting more than 20 points. Big numbers without turnovers, getting to the foul line, making your foul shots, and playing big.
Johnson had 19. Gill had 15 tonight. But many of those points came late, particularly for Kendall Gill. And the Bulls are going to get this win.
Oh, pretty!
Behind the
Oh, yes! Come on! What a beautiful pass.
105-91, the Bulls beat the Hornets. The Hornets are now 1-14 here in Chicago. Craig Sager is with Michael Jordan.
Well, Michael, you left the game because you had nothing left to prove, but after 42 points in 42 minutes, it appears you're out to prove everything all over again. Your assessment, please.
Well, you know, I worked hard all summer to try to get myself in a good physical shape to play basketball again. Last year, you know, I was kind of mentally into the game, but physically I wasn't ready. And I think this year I'm ready, and, you know, we got a very good possibility with the team here, and we got to put things together and make a shot at it. You know, I feel good about my game right now.
People no longer assume that you're the best player. They no longer assume that this is the team to beat. Does that motivate you?
Oh, yeah, that's motivation. I think sometimes you have to prove yourself. You know, when I left the game, I was out of the game for a couple of years, and, you know, I really didn't have a chance to prove myself. Now I got to come back and prove myself, and, you know, that's a challenge. I love that.
The depth appears here on the team. What about your new teammate, Dennis Rodman? How has that gotten along? What's the chemistry between you two?
Dennis is going to be fine. You know, we asked Dennis to come on this basketball court and give us 110%. We don't care what color his hair is, no matter what. He's going to come out and play hard, and, you know, we got a system here. We're on time. We practice hard, and, you know, he's about it. I mean, he's been there every day. You know, he's been there and participated in every practice, and that's all we can ask for him. We're not going to try to ruin his reputation. He's got his own reputation. We understand that off the court, but what we ask on the court is to play the game of basketball.
Thanks a lot. Happy New Year.
Thanks.
42 points in 42 minutes, Bob.
Yeah, when Michael tells Dennis to jump, he says, how high, you think? Bulls 105-91 over Charlotte tonight. Chicago 1-0. The Hornets 0-1 in the new NBA